And we're live.
Just in time to capture BassguitarBill's mouse cursor in the middle of the emulator window.
Mine was like that for the first couple minutes too.
I know the audience loves it.
If you ever get sub emotes, you should make one like an anti-mouse cursor or something
Sure.
for them to spam.
People will be like, I keep trying to move my mouse and nothing happens. You're driving me crazy.
I did that once. I told somebody that their mouse cursor was on screen, and they're like, no, it's not. And I moved my mouse, and it turned out it was my mouse.
Yeah, sometimes I forget to turn off the audio from the streams and someone has their, like, some, like, IRC notifications or something like that coming through, and people are just like, oh man, it sounds like I keep getting messages.
Yeah, I'm not even finishing the goal at the moment. But based on what other people have said their bubble times are, I think I can just put in a good run there and get an extra 20 minutes.
Is this number 40? Episode number 40?
39.
Oh, 39. Okay.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, fire wheel, fire shield, whatever it's called, 2 OP.
This is the first SGL on the new channel.
Yep.
Are we gonna do the thing where like we go live on the old one for a second to like ping everyone who follows that one, but not this one?
You could.
I'll jump too early.
Uh-oh.
Real smooth. Go the wrong direction right at the beginning.
How did you manage that?
Tried to run back through the door. Took about half a second to realize, oh wait, wrong direction. I have a feeling Ninja Gaiden's gonna be one of those games where I put up my best time for the first time, and then I can't ever beat it after that. I threw a ninja star. Where did it go?
full title of this game again? The Ancient Ship of Doom.
Yup.
Yep.
Doom.
Get your bonus game ready. This will be fun. I was gonna have you guys play Joe and Mac because that's the tutorial I'm doing right afterwards, and I need to work on that game a bit to get familiar with it, but that'd be too cheap.
I blind raced the SNES one actually. It's really fun.
Yeah, SNES one is pretty fun. We hope to have that on this show sometime soon.
I recommend it. Speaking.
Cool. Well, no, the game I'm going to give you for bonus is not one that I think I would recommend to people to speedrun, but you may find it an interesting challenge at least.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
Probably not gonna be
Yeah.
Fire and Ice. So.
It's not going to be Fire and Ice. That's not a bad game actually, nor is it that difficult. So that wouldn't be a true challenge.
Out of the best of 20, I think Fire and Ice is the one I like the best that I never played before. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm not doing best of 20. That's way too hard.
Yeah, it's a lot of games to learn. You got to be confident in your ability to learn games fast. But yeah, yeah, Fire and Ice is a great puzzle game. I mean, I had so much fun with it. It was just the right difficulty level that I didn't get blocked on anything.
So what you're saying is it's lowest 2K?
A little bit too good.
No, it's Lolo 2J.
Oh, is Lolo 2J? Oh, it's not Lolo 2J. No. Few things can compare to that.
Yeah.
There we go.
You could make the short goal like one puzzle.
Like one puzzle in World 8 or something.
Yeah, exactly. It'll take like 30 minutes.
Right.
But then once you figure it out, you get your time down to like less than a minute.
Right, after you spend like 3 hours trying to figure out exactly where each guy reappears, like after you've blocked off the first 4 things that he could reappear on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you've mapped out all of the water currents for every water tile.
There's some really nasty stages with those water currents, man, in like World 15, 16, or 14.
Yeah.
Like that. One of the underworld stages.
It's looking like we're gonna see some really optimized Ninja Gaiden here.
Short times, relatively short level. Sub 1 minute, perhaps?
Perhaps.
Perhaps. I'd put a big asterisk next to that perhaps, but could happen.
I'm down to 103 since I can't upload, so you guys can't see.
Are there any health pickups that I haven't found?
I
Yeah,
only
there's
found one.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on the third screen, the first vertical.
Cheers. I will keep a lookout for it.
It's on the right-hand side.
Stop helping him.
Believe me. I put in 1 run so far.
Yeah,
I
it took
need
me
all
like
the help I
15 tries to get even to the end of the stages. And I keep accidentally picking up the fire on that last little segment of this third area.
Activate
Wow.
fire wheel, walk off ledge.
Nice. I think my favorite thing in Ninja Gaiden, all Ninja Gaiden, is throwing the pinwheel shuriken and getting it to go back and forth and kill like
Having it
6
loop.
things. Yeah.
I always like to try to dodge it as much as I can to see how many passes I can get. Just let it go forever.
Oh.
Oh. Swung the sword too early there.
102.
Did anyone decide to watch a video?
Ultimately, no. So I'm just mostly learning as I'm going.
Same.
Same.
I'm always paranoid that there's something incredibly obvious that I'm overlooking. Like, oh,
Well, and that's how.
you can charge your sword and shoot a thing across the screen or something. Like, I'll just be like, oh, okay. Just a game mechanic I didn't know about.
You guys are using the
That's-
jetpack, right?
Yeah.
All ninjas come with
course.
a jetpack.
Okay.
I need to stop getting that.
The only drawback is it limits how many shurikens you can throw. I don't know how those ninjas in Ninja Gaiden 1 did it.
Oh yeah, those guys just dump shurikens.
Yeah, that was one thing that was interesting about Bubble was there's not a single good run that you could use for copying.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're all
least not
they're all 2-player or like a marathon run or
Yeah.
Or they all use all the items and don't die.
Exactly. Yeah, they get into all the stages with all the items, and you're like, well, that's not going to be helpful at all.
Yeah. Maybe a low percent bubble run or something. Maybe someday someone will do that. That would probably be more helpful.
I don't know. On speedrun.com, there's not a single one-player run, so if anybody wants the world record on that website.
Yeah.
Free
Just
world
be
record.
Yeah.
Complete Bubble solo.
hmm
Just record it and you're good.
Well,
Although
and I read
Dr.
Um,
Duck might have something to say about that though, because I've seen him do single player runs of it.
Yeah, and I read like a wiki that said if you can get to stage 50 without dying, you actually get a booklet that or a door that takes you to stage 70.
that
So there's a
true?
20 stage skip if you cannot die for the first 50. And
I wonder
yeah, I
if
had
that's
that
in
thought
the
of.
NES version or if it's one of the other versions.
Yeah, I didn't know that
I don't
existed.
know. Yeah, it may have been the arcade version. Oops. Oh, damn.
Oh, made it past those guys without getting hit for the first time.
Oh, no, you just damage boost the whole stage.
I wish.
It's a bit too much damage for that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't the amount of damage you take increased in this one compared to the other two?
I think so.
I think so, and I think it also does like a Castlevania where whatever stage you're on, you take like that amount of damage per hit. Yep, that's fine.
Not bad, not bad.
Yep, starting to do worse.
That's not good.
Like I said, I'm probably going to get a really good run right at the beginning, and then it's going to just go downhill from there.
You still got a little over 20 minutes to keep drilling this.
That's what she said.
Hey-oh.
Oh shoot, I think I activated too early. Yes, I did.
Oops.
Not enough Nimpo for what I needed to do.
I don't think I saw anyone use any save states.
I
Well, it's
didn't.
because this run is so easy. You don't even need
Yeah.
them.
And I don't feel like there's any segments that are especially so hard that you need to concentrate on it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do keep accidentally using the shield at the wrong time and end up picking up the power up on the third segment. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Oh.
That's
Last-
upsetting.
Oh, that last jump went right off the edge.
I think I've
I
done
got
that
it.
4 or 5 times now. Just like fire wheeled and walked right off the edge, right at the very end.
Yeah.
So I got a minute 7. Or 7/10 of a second. So just short of sub 1.
I bet someone will get there.
Clearly all of us will get there.
Everyone.
Oh, I activated my shield instead of my sword.
What is that in the background?
It sounds like someone going, ouch, ow.
Yeah, that's
ow.
what
So I like to think
Oh.
it's coming out of the game.
Yeah. Or somebody just adding their own sound effects.
Ouch.
Oops.
I think someone made a Half-Life 2 mod where they went into the sound effects folder and swapped out every sound effect with a sound file of them mimicking the sound effect
Oh
with
yeah,
their
I've seen
voice.
that one.
So it's just like ping pong, bing. Taka, 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 taka.
Oh. Gotta give my fingers a rest here.
That's what happened the last time I was on the show. My hand was killing me by the end of the week.
What were you playing?
Sparkster.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's like a high mechanical game where Bobble is like left, right, jump occasionally. So that was a nice change of pace.
Yeah, you don't press up or down at all in Bobble, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Last week was Bionic Commando, yeah?
Yeah, so that's one that's gonna just destroy your D-pad thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that one.
And I think the mystery game was Rockin' Cats too, which is more holding diagonally right enough to shoot the grappling hook diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I saw that.
Oh.
Oh.
That was a pretty good time too, oh man.
Yeah, this is going to be a close one, I think.
Yeah, I was debating including the boss, but I think just for purposes of the mystery game, it's a bit easier to focus on the platforming.
Good choice. I heartily agree.
I still want to move Crystal. I didn't even realize there was an episode done of it, so I went back and watched it to see how they did compared to my times.
I think it was a pretty decent episode. It was JD
Yeah, no,
and Mundungu and someone. Nasir, maybe?
yeah.
I think so.
I kind of gave up on the game because there was like two bosses I just never could do the one hit point completion on, and so some guy came along and actually did it without that, and even though he died like 3 times, he saved so much time on the bosses.
It was Nasir. I wasn't even on that episode. My memory.
Creepy. Oops.
Must resist urge to sing along to Mega Man music on Rainwave.
Yeah, me too.
And must resist urge to sing along to 8-Bit Gino's Forest song. This one actually has lyrics. Sort of.
Wasted too much Nimpo.
Got that sub one.
Boo.
Yay.
Oops, I hit save. I don't know why.
That's fine.
Gotta love it when you use an Nimpo and your shuriken doesn't appear.
It just doesn't appear.
Yeah. Probably just too many sprites on the screen.
That sucks.
It's like erase an enemy. Don't deprive me of this.
The shuriken
Yeah, if it-
would have erased like 5 enemies if you had just
5 or 6 in my case, yeah. No.
Can someone repost the main stream just so I can see other people's times and stuff?
Oh,
I have the other
cannot.
3 streams up in separate windows.
InfestedRiche has
That's
found
one
the
way
stream.
to do it.
InfestedRiche has found the stream. He seems
Yep.
very enthused.
Nice.
No, don't jump that guy. Sword swing. Sub 1.
There it is, 58.4.
That's exactly what I got.
No, it's 50.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at yours. Oh shoot. Yeah, that you got a 55.4. Dang.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh man, you got your work cut out for you.
There we go.
Still 12 minutes to find out how to save those seconds.
12 minutes, huh?
Yep.
That is not a lot of time. Oh, then we got another half hour.
Well, yeah, to play a completely different game.
Oh, true.
Like I said, you get your best time first run, then you have like 28 more minutes.
No, the Blecky corollary states that you cannot gain more than an hour to practice your mystery game.
Yep. Sad to say.
You can, however, sacrifice mystery game time to practice the main game if you're
If you
crazy.
want. Yeah, if you're crazy.
Ah,
We haven't seen that happen yet, I don't think.
That is a bold move, right?
I was honestly just considering that when you said 12 minutes left. I was like, I should run through stage 52 or 50 again. Stage 50 really kills me. The green one.
Yeah,
That one is not fun for me.
go for
I
it.
love my route of that stage.
I have a route, but it's risky and like, it's like a 50-50 chance you'll die. So I don't want to get too hung up trying that. I have a slower route, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have a slower one that's about 2 seconds slower and a lot safer that I'll probably do until I at least put up a run, and then I'll go to the risky.
My my goal is just to get there or to finish that stage before the warning.
Alright, time to see if there's any little time savers that's in InfestedRiche's SDA run that I might be missing.
I am just not good at getting the fire wheel on that first jump. I always have to stop for it.
Here's a game that should be on SGL.
What is it?
Good.
Wizards and Warriors.
Hmm.
We'll give you some weird hacked version where you have to collect like twice as many gems to force players to come up with new gem routes.
Either that or all the gems.
Oh god.
Feasel, have you ever participated in one of these or just hosted?
Just hosted. I've never actually
Yeah.
done one.
You gotta get in on that. Let someone else host.
I might try it. Yeah.
Except he has intimate knowledge of like every goal
That's
in
the only problem, I
database.
guess.
Right.
Every single game.
Well, see, some of them I've just kind of got through. I never really tried to route them, so it would still be kind of normal, but I don't know. Wait, so you can damage boost up through that platform?
There's one that I do.
Like, hit that green guy once you start going up again? Huh.
So InfestedRiche does it in 50 seconds.
Okay. And you always start with the same stuff when you enter the stage, I'm pretty sure, right?
When you begin a stage,
Yeah.
You start this one with in the run with the one where you shoot fireballs diagonally downward. I forget what that's called.
You're saying in the speed run?
Yeah.
You start with that. Oh, okay. I thought that for some
Yeah.
reason it got rid of your sub weapon when you changed stages, but I guess not.
well, when you change stages, but not sub-stages.
Oh, right, because this is 3-2. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
So he got the downward fireballs during the 3-1, but when he got here to 3-2, he had, so he started with that, and he only started with 12 Nimpo instead of all 50. Okay, so he just takes the damage there. Take that. Okay. Okay, gotta hold down if I want to do that. Oh, wait.
Everyone is so focused. I guess Ninja Gaiden's just that kind of game.
Yeah, it's one of those don't blink or you'll miss it games. Wow, this NES Joe and Mac is super easy. This would be a perfect mystery game.
Oh, this game is so easy. You guys go play Ninja Gaiden.
Right. Hey, I made Ninja Gaiden 3 as easy as I could. It's one short stage, no bosses.
I just got sub 1.
Nice.
59.6.
Welcome to the Sub 1 Club.
Got minute 3. I'm almost there. I'll be there.
Ooh. Completely on.
I was watching, I think it was Toad played Joe and Mac. And it did seem pretty straightforward. Assuming you get the wheel power up. I think there's a way to manipulate the wheel so that you always get it.
Good question. We'll have to find out.
Yep.
I haven't figured it out. I'm just doing this with the X. So far I've figured out that you want to just hold up the entire time, because otherwise your jump sucks. But I digress. Let's focus on Ninja Gaiden 3. The Ancient Ship of Doom, which I don't understand what that has to do with... I don't know what the plot of this game is, for one thing, so I don't know where this ship is. Why it's important.
It turns out it's an alien ship.
Oh.
It's always aliens,
It's
isn't
not
it?
like a pirate ship or something?
Mm-hmm.
That
Not
sounds
one
like a
of
Ninja Gaiden plot to me.
Aliens, of course. Ninjas plus aliens.
Why not?
Where the History Channel got it from.
That's right, the age-old debate. Ninjas versus aliens.
Next Michael Bay, Steven Spielberg movie.
Ooh. Watch that.
Michael Bay does the explosion, Steven Spielberg does the plot.
Whoa, flying guy.
Oh yeah, he denied you pretty hard there.
Yeah.
Dang it, not quite my 55.4, but close.
$57.
Getting there. We're gonna have a real competition on our hands before long.
Alright, we're going to be starting in just a few.
I'm gonna go to the restroom.
It's gonna feel really weird going from this game back to Bobble.
Yeah. That's what I'm worried about. Minute 1. I am so close.
Oh, I missed the jump.
would have been a good time.
Oh, it would have been a new PB. Oh.
And with that, I think it's time to switch over to Bobble.
Yep, let's
Yep.
switch over.
All right. Blow some bubbles.
Oh no.
Nope, I gotta get my splits back up. There we go. Timing's all off. I blame Ninja Gaiden.
That's probably fair.
Give Feasel a sec to finish the level he's on, and Joe and Mac, and then.
No, I'm frantically clicking. It's not Joe and Mac this time.
Whoa, never done that before. Oh, you guys.
Got distracted.
Stage 31 is toying with me.
It looks like I was right about level 31. It seems everyone has just a slightly different way of going about it.
Ooh. I am not doing stage 33 right.
So it can be kind of a hassle to drop the movie files into Skype Neosporin. But it is handy if a player needs to know whether or not he needs to beat your run or not.
Yeah. Well,
so-
and honestly, those few seconds probably won't make the difference. So, and I have all the folders up that I would need to. So it would only add like 2 seconds to the process for me, if that.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Is just like have the stuff open. It should be fine. Cool.
Yeah. And no offense to the other runners, I've seen their times. I think I have this.
You sure you've seen my times?
The ones you told me. Have you been lying?
Would he
Maybe.
stop lying right now just because you asked him point blank?
I think so.
Well, I'm a firm believer of actions speak louder than words, so...
Oh, choking smart. Oops.
Of course, I haven't made it past 32 yet, so... At least not in this little practice session.
Yeah, apparently I messed up all my splits in W split, so I don't even know what my stage 32 get out time is. Oh, never mind. I did.
I was half expecting to be able to press up B and have my little dinosaur do something special.
Oh, stage
don't have enough
31 is
info.
not cooperating.
That's true. He doesn't have enough info. He's got 0 Nimpo.
There we go.
So everybody all bobbled up here?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. Let's see. Make sure I've got everything I need.
So just to be clear, we're splitting after we're skipping the first stage, but every other stage has a split.
That's right.
Pretty much,
segments? Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone. Thanks for showing up for this. This is SGL episode number 39. We've got 4 excellent players for you today. We've got BassguitarBill, Countdown 42, Neosporin, and Zyre. They're going to be playing some Bobble, 2 matches of Bobble today, and there'll also be a match of the mystery game, which is Ninja Gaiden 3. These players have had 1 week to work on Bobble to practice up for these 2 matches. You're going to see the first of them in a moment here. Just a little blurb about the rules. The way it works is these players have 30 minutes to make as many attempts as they can of the short goal of this game, which is just going to be 5 levels at a time. At the end of 30 minutes, the player with the best time is the winner.
Yep, and they've had a week to practice.
Yeah, a week to practice the 2 Bobble goals. And let's see. Each of these runs, as they finish it, is going to be submitted to our uploaded to our servers, and our official timing referee, Mythical9, is going to play back each of these and get the exact timing down to the frame. The final official verified times are going to appear in this box on the left side of the screen, so you can watch that as it comes. In the meantime, you can also look at the players' splits, which you'll see above or below each of their game windows. So without further ado, I think we'll start the first match. Is everyone ready to go?
Yep.
I'm ready.
Sounds good. Wait. Billy, you ready also?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh, okay, sorry, I don't know voices too well here. Alright, so
Bill is ready.
Bill is ready. Well, I saw you're the one with hit pause, so I didn't know if you were like taking a bathroom break or something.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Alright, sounds good. I'm gonna count you guys down. 3, 2, 1, go. And they're off.
Bobble. You blow bubbles, and then you pop them.
Bobble.
Yes, you bubble, then you bobble.
Is that a bobble when you pop a bubble? Is it the bobble of bubble? I don't know.
A bobble is the
We'll have
term
to
that they use when you screw up something in snowboarding, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a word just in general. Like,
You can bobble
if
a
you were,
catch.
yeah, if someone threw a ball at you and you were kind of like whoa, and you were dancing around from one hand to the other.
I see.
and
So
that would be
anything like
bobbling.
sportsy that you screw up could be a bobble, huh?
Yeah, it's generally it like frantic motions to keep something in the air.
Is bobbling?
Yeah. In this case, I think it's just a word that sounds like bubble.
That sounds good with bubble.
Well, aren't the main
Bubble
characters' names Bub and Bob?
Bob and Bob.
Bob and Bob, yep.
Ah, there you go.
Gotta pay attention to the lore of this game. It's super important.
But it could have been Bub and Babs, and then call it Bubble Babble.
I could have called it Bible Buffet, but that name was already taken.
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
Okay,
It
so
works perfectly.
Bubble Bobble it's a maybe not quite obvious what they're doing here. If you haven't played the game before, this probably doesn't make a lot of sense. But each of these stages, there's like 120 stages in the game. You're only going to be seeing 5 stages in this goal, 31 through 35, I think. Is that it?
30 through 34.
That's 30 through 34. Yeah, that's right. It's the other one that's shifted up. Okay, yeah, 30 through 34. So you're going to see 5 stages. And each of the stages, a certain number of enemies in it. A fixed number of enemies. They all spawn right at the beginning, so you see all the enemies. And you have to shoot each one of them with your bubble thingy which encases that enemy in a bubble, and then you have to pop each of the bubbles that you've put an enemy into, and the bubbles will kind of drift around the screen. There are like invisible air currents. Each square has got sort of like a vector of which direction you would move to, which direction a bubble would move to if it was in that square. So they sort of float around the screen in a certain pattern that's different from in each level. So all the levels have completely different air current patterns. If you get clusters of bubbles clumped together, you can pop them all at once by touching any of the bubbles in that cluster. Let's see, any enemy that's in a bubble for too long will come out of his bubble and turn back into a normal enemy again, except he'll be like red colored and moving really fast, very aggressive version of that enemy. There's a certain amount of time you have to complete each level. If you don't do it fast enough, there'll be it'll say hurry, and there'll be a little whale that appears. So he chases you around, and that's bad. He's got a name, right?
Baron von Blubba, I think is
Baron
his
von
name.
Blubber.
Baron von
Yeah.
Blubber.
All right,
Wobble
so
Bobble.
wait a minute. So when is this going over?
It's after 35, actually.
After
It's 31. This one is
35.
31.
Okay,
to
I was gonna
35.
say you guys are like confusing the hell out of me.
okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, it's 31 through
We're
35.
good.
It's 31 through 35 in this. So after 35, once you start to bubble up to enter the next level, that's when you split. So there's there's 120 levels, like 100 levels in the normal game, and then I think there's 20 bonus levels or 20 special levels or something like that. It's a pretty long game. They're doing just 5 levels. They're probably going to take about 2-ish minutes, 2 or so minutes. One of the things that makes this a little more interesting is that there are different items that you can get. They're starting with none of the power-up items, but there are different power-ups that you can get that you'll collect, and they persist from level to level, but they go away if you die. One of them is the blue candy, which that's the one that lets you fire 2 bubbles at once, right?
The blue candy lets you shoot them further.
Oh, that's the long
Green-
distance. Okay. And green
yeah,
candy
green
is
candy lets you fire them faster.
right.
And then there's the running shoes as well.
Yes,
You'd
and then
think
the running shoes
shoes
make you go
would be,
fast.
Like super key for a speedrun. But they're so hard to control. You go so fast that a lot of players were kind of like, I don't know about these shoes.
Yeah, and one of the things that makes the running shoes difficult is it makes your jump, the vertical speed of your jump increases, so you'll go up and then down a lot faster, but it doesn't increase your horizontal speed while you're in the air. So it actually makes it more difficult to make certain jumps because you spend less time in the air covering the same, like, you know, less vertical distance, or I'm sorry, less horizontal distance because your horizontal speed is slowed down compared to your jump, your vertical speed. It's really weird. But for a speedrun, you know, truly optimal speedrun, you do need the shoes.
All right, I just submitted my first run.
Cool. All right. Well, we've got, what was it, a 227 from BassguitarBill, which is actually a
Just submitted mine as
226.87, and Zyre's got a 149.85. So Zyre's in first place so far. Countdown's got a 158 that we're still working on getting the timing for. And this Neosporin's 145, is that from within the match, or was that before it?
Nope, that's within it.
That's within it.
That's
Okay,
the one I
so
just-
so he's got that one just submitted, and we'll have the official timing for that in a moment as well. But that looks like right now it's going to be probably Neosporin in first place. We'll have to get the official word back from Mythical when he's done timing.
Yeah, I accidentally sent 2 files. I wasn't sure which one was it.
Yeah, if you would.
Someone getting a call.
That
Yeah.
that was me. That was my bad.
Interrupting the RoboCop title screen music,
Yes, how dare you?
which has to play every episode. It's our theme, our unofficial theme song. It's got kind of a melancholy feel to it. It might make a good ending song for this, right? If we, like, for an outro theme.
Well, I mean, maybe if someone died during the show, sure, but
Well, you're supposed to be
otherwise,
sad
I
because
think
it's over.
no, you don't want to. You don't want to leave people with this sad. You don't know what you're doing.
Wow.
It's a good thing I'm around so that we can go truly broad appeal, get all the views.
Nobody knows people like Mythical does.
Yeah.
That was almost a PR disaster we had on our hands.
All right. I think everyone has runs on the board now.
Let me just refresh so we can get the latest set of them. There we go. So here's what the boards look like after the initial set of runs have come in. Neosporin in first with 145, Zyre in second at 149, Countdown at 158, and BassguitarBill at 226.
Yeah.
So we've got 3 out of 4 of these, sub 2. This is a relatively short goal, but it is harder than it looks. The enemies' patterns are predictable. The enemies will always follow the same pattern. I don't think there's any RNG in this game as far as I can tell, but sometimes the enemies' patterns are dependent on where you move.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, so you do have to play consistently if you want to get consistent, predictable enemy patterns. But there's technically not RNG that I know of in this goal.
None that matters anyway. I think if you kill a bunch of guys, you'll get letters that spell out the word extend, and then if you complete that, you'll immediately end the level and get an extra life. But the animation for going through the whole process is quite long, so you need to do it really early on in a level for it to save time, and also the players don't have any letters, and the only way to make them appear is to kill multiple enemies at the same time. So they're not going to get it, basically.
Yeah,
even if they got super perfect luck and came up with really great strats for killing enemies, clumps of enemies all at the same time, they're not going to get the whole word. So
Right,
RNG
and
should not be a big deal.
Right, yeah, it's definitely not worth it because you have to go out of your way to get those letters. You don't just automatically get it. It just means the letter will spawn, and it might have the letter that you need, or it might be one that you don't need, and then you got to walk over there and get it. So that's not going to happen in this run. What do you think is the hardest one of this set?
Hardest one for me to do well is the third one on the second goal.
Oh, the second goal? What about in this first goal?
I'd say level
33 has the
33.
hardest route to get perfect.
33? Alright, that's the pinkish
Yeah.
one with these diagonal stripes.
Oh yeah, that one's
like
a little finicky.
Yeah. I die more often on 35.
Yeah, Bubble Bobble's a weird game in that you can jump up through any platform, but you can't move horizontally through any platform.
Any.
Yeah, so it leads to these weird situations where you can jump up into these little rooms, but you can't move sideways through them, and you can sort of blow bubbles and from sort of one side of it and get things that are in. Yeah, it's really bizarre, and you need to use that to take out at least 2 of these guys on 33. So I can see why that would be a big reset for lots of people.
Yeah, so there's a couple tricky things about this level 33 here, and one of them is just trying to jump up and time it so you can hit these guys who are going back and forth inside these little cells that are hidden inside the wall there. That's a little tricky.
Oh, that was an extra strat.
Another interesting technique in this game is if you shoot an enemy when it's right about to touch you, when it's already colliding with your hitbox, you bubble them and then pop the bubble at the same time. And that's kind of a nice little time savings. It means you don't have to chase the bubble around. The way popping bubbles works is you can walk into a bubble and it'll push the bubble. It doesn't just pop it when you touch the bubble. You have to actually hit it with a certain amount of velocity in order to get inside the thing's hitbox enough to pop it instead of just push it. So sometimes there's a bit of struggling with trying to pop a bubble. So hopefully we can minimize that.
Yeah, you end up just pushing it around the level, and you're like, God damn it!
Right, or you're like jumping and you push it up out of the way where you can't reach it anymore.
Yeah, I lost a good run just now from that.
That's what the shoes help that. The shoe power-up makes you go so fast that you can pop things from the side very easily, just running into it.
Right, and up and down as well, because the vertical part of your jump speed is increased.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to push a bubble upwards without popping it. It's got to be like right at the top of your jump.
Yeah.
But it can happen.
It definitely can. Another handy technique is jumping on bubbles, bouncing on them to reach stuff. But most of these goals that we have, there's not a lot of that. Some of the goals, or some of the levels, are completely built around that mechanic, and it's all about, you know, making it as challenging as possible to hop on bubbles to reach ledges. But those levels are kind of annoying and slow, so I don't think we've got any of those in here.
35 kind of does.
You have to do it a little bit to get up to the second floor. Fortunately, only a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. You do. You have to do it at least once to get up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess 33 in some cases you might need to do it. So we should talk about these power-ups. We mentioned what the different candies do. Blue candy was the one that gives you more distance.
Yep.
I get confused every time. Yeah, I don't know. Look up what the number of pops or bounces or whatever, because I keep forgetting this.
I believe it's 35 for the candies and 15 for the shoes.
Yeah, it's 35, but I can't remember which one's pop and which one's bounce.
Blues pop, shoes are bounce, and then one of them...
Green candy is blown.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Blow.
Right.
Just for the viewers who might not know what the hell we're talking
Right,
about.
I'll just bring this up here.
The power-ups are tied to actions you take. If you blow 35 bubbles, then on the next level a green candy will spawn. If you pop 35, on the next level a blue candy will spawn. And if you bounce on a bubble 15 times, on the next level shoes will spawn. And there's a certain priority to them. I think it goes shoes, green, blue. And there's also the counters save between levels. You can bounce on 7 times on one level and 8 on another, and then that will get you enough for the shoes on the following level. For this goal, I believe all the counters start at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it's pretty difficult to get power-ups. We were kind of hoping, giving players kind of like a low percent goal here, and then, you know, if they could figure out a way to get 35 pops or blows or whatever, then more power to them. But
Yep, I've seen some candies appear. I think I saw a green candy appearing level 3 in Zyre's right now in Zyre's stream. The candies, or all the power-ups, they always appear in a certain fixed spot in the level, and they'll appear after about maybe 10 seconds of the level being spawned. Whenever you make one of those triggers, like X number of popped or blown or bounced bubbles, the power-up won't appear until the next level. And also you can only get one power-up per level, so if you've triggered 2 things, let's say you've blown 35 bubbles, which would give you a green candy for rapid fire, and you've popped 35 bubbles, which would give you blue candy for long range, it actually will only give you one or the other. Like there's a priority system. I think green candy is the one it prioritizes in that situation.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, and so really, it won't come into play in this goal, but in the next goal where they actually start with some stuff on the counters, and they can get some power-ups, the order that you get them in matters, and so they're going to want to be careful about, you know, which power-ups they get when. There's also another power-up, the Umbrella, which lets you skip stages. It'll let you skip between 3 and 5 stages, which is determined randomly. And you get that by popping water bubbles. You have to pop 20 water bubbles. I don't remember if there's actually water bubbles in this goal at all.
This one, no.
Not
No, the other one has
there
some,
is.
right? Yeah. But either way, neither of the goals is going to be enough of them to actually use the umbrellas, so you won't see umbrellas in this. But if you're watching a normal, like an any % run of this, or a good ending run, or whatever, you're definitely going to see umbrellas. That's going to be a huge part of it, and a huge source of RNG in a true speedrun of this. Anything else that you see, any other power-up like thing that you see is just points. Those necklaces, all the fruits, any other random items that appear, points. Besides the letters that we've explained to spell the word extend. You're also going to see fire bubbles and lightning bubbles. Those, neither of them will hurt you, but they will hurt enemies, so they're actually very useful if they appear in the right spot and you can use them at the right time. Also, when you beat a stage, the end of stage trigger, it takes about maybe 7 seconds, 8 seconds maybe, after the enemies are all finished before it actually lets you move down to the next stage. So that's a lot of waiting time. And that timer doesn't start until you've popped the last enemy's bubble, and that enemy's body has fallen to the ground and turned into a fruit or a power-up or whatever it turns into. Only at that point in time does it matter, or does the timer start, and it doesn't matter what you do past that point. But trying to minimize that amount of time it takes for the last enemy's body to hit the ground is maybe a little bit beyond the level of strategy we're going to get to in this, because it has to do with exactly where the enemy is when you hit him, and it controls which way he's going to fly, etc. Another thing to remember is that you want to be sort of near the lower left corner of the screen, because you will bubble down to the next level and it'll move you at sort of an accelerated rate, but not fast enough that it wouldn't have to wait for you if you were in the opposite corner of the screen, for instance. So generally you'll see these guys trying to be in the lower left quadrant of the level when it finishes.
Yeah, I wasted about 2 days not realizing that.
Yeah, because it will wait for you. You do move faster than usual, so you can get almost, like, it doesn't even have to be the lower left quadrant. I think, like, the lower left 80% of the screen is enough, but yeah, just don't be too far to the top or to the right. We're at about 9.5 minutes left on the clock.
Oh god.
If we had any new runs in them, I see. Oh yeah, we had a couple. Yeah, Neo's down to 142.44, Zyre at 143.47. And Bill's brought his time down a bunch, 2:14.
I never even broke 2 in practice, so don't. I guess don't expect much.
We've had people who really surprised themselves and, PB'd multiple times during the matches, so we'll see.
That is what I'm counting on.
Yeah. What is your PB, by the way?
207? 207, I think.
Okay.
The first event, and 205 for the second.
Some people in this situation have opted to, instead of actually playing, just watch the other streams for a while, and then copy some strats, and then
Get
play.
some strats and then go.
Yep.
I had a week to do that. I had a week I should have been doing that, but maybe. Haven't gotten a really good run yet, so we'll wait for that.
So I don't know if we've really talked about how these goals are very heavy on the routing basically.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of video resources for this game that are, for one, just one player. I mean, a lot of the speedruns for this game are done 2-player.
2-player, yeah.
And,
That's because that's the one that Andy, who was it, did this? I think Andy did it. And 4H.
Yeah, he was in chat earlier.
Oh yeah.
Saying something about Bubble.
South and his
so
brother, I think, were the ones who ran this, who were the first that I know of to run this game co-op, and there's actually more co-op speedruns that I could find than regular speedruns. In fact, even when Darkwing was working on this, he was doing like second player version of it because he was practicing for the co-op for AGDQ. Or SGDQ,
Yeah.
I mean.
And that matters because you spawn in the other side of the screen.
Yeah, which
on the
totally
levels.
changes your route. Because it's all about, the enemies all spawn the same way and they walk the same direction, so just finding the shortest path to hitting all of them and popping their bubbles. It's actually quite challenging because you're cutting it really close.
Especially like this first level, even 31. You think, okay, well, I should get up there sooner and start bubbling them. But one, if you're up there for too long on the same level as them, all of them will pause and like do a little jump and sync. It's really silly, but it wastes a bunch of time. If you bubble them and you don't pop them, their bubbles are now up at the top of the screen, and the rest of them are going down the screen and they're splitting apart. That takes time to get to both sides and to take them all out. So, do you wait for them all to come down? Do you try to get up there and get some of them? And there's a lot of little tiny things that all the players had to kind of figure out. And that's the reason why no one's really doing the exact same thing on any level, it looks like. A lot of similarities, but definitely small differences all around. How are we doing on time? I bet there's not too much. They got about 5 minutes left.
Yep, we got about 5 minutes left, and it's extremely close between the first and the second players here. So keep an eye out, because this could be a game that's determined by, or a match that's determined by one of the last runs. We've had a lot of those lately.
Oh, this could be good. It takes a while for those enemies to fall, and it takes even longer for the screen to start scrolling. Oh, wow, it's gonna be close.
Okay, wow, it looks like Zyre is... Man, I don't know.
I'll get to time.
We've got a 143 on the manual splits. Mythical's gonna time that and see how it compares, but just looking at the manual splits, about a half a second slower than Neo's time, but we don't know for sure.
How much time do we have on the clock?
4:08.
Wow.
Yeah, that time flew by, didn't it?
Always does.
Yeah.
I just had a really good run. I don't know what it is yet, though.
Okay.
Zyre's run is about a half second behind Neosporin's best run, although that may be a little bit of a bigger gap. We'll see.
Yeah, now that's a moot point,
Yeah.
because Neo's quite clearly like in the
Yeah.
140 range.
Yeah, that actually is probably within a half second of my PB, or even better than it. I'm not sure.
Nice. Alright, well now Neosporin has increased his lead to over 2 seconds. Wow. Very close.
his 33 route is so different than mine. Oh, that's backwards.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do these levels, and many of them perfectly acceptable speedrun routes. So I was really interested to see what routes people would choose for this, because everyone really had to come up with their own routes. There really weren't routes that they could borrow from existing speedruns, because they're starting with no items. So this is really new territory. Maybe someday if someone does a low percent bubble run, it will be, some strategies will be found, but they might look back on this episode and borrow some strats from it. I don't know.
Oops.
We're getting down under 2 minutes. It's 144 left on the clock, so this is about the, one run distance away from the timing running out.
Oh, come on.
That
Had an
was
enemy
the
that
enemy
ended up
died
falling.
and yeah, wrapped all the way around the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, these screens will wrap at the top and the bottom, and sometimes it's to your advantage, and sometimes it trolls you because, enemy bubbles will float up the top and come out the bottom, or you'll end up accidentally going through the ceiling. Yeah, it can be a problem. So as we get down towards the end, this is where the strategy maybe starts to change a little bit, because players can't reset anymore once the clock runs out. Once the clock runs out, they've got to finish out whatever run they're in the middle of doing, so sometimes the players will try to change their strategy a little bit to sort of see how far their runs get before they want to take their last moment reset. I'm not really sure which level's the real sticking point in this, though.
Oh, I'm splitting soda.
It's definitely 33.
Well, and I saw there was a difference in 34 as well, so...
Wow. All right. Well, timing is up here, so if anybody wants to reset, now is your last chance to do it. Otherwise, you must stick with this run, and that's it. Window of opportunity is closed, so last reset. Neo, since you just got your run in just right before I said that, you're welcome to do one
No,
more.
I'm fine. That one was within a 100th of a second or 10th of a second, and I'm satisfied with the 140.
Okay. So now we're in sudden death mode. The players, if they chose to reset, are stuck with their... Well, either way, they're stuck with their run.
Looks like pretty much just Zyre and Bill have live runs going.
Alright.
Mine's game over.
Oh, that's too bad, because you were already... Yeah, that 1.5 seconds up from your splits, that could have put you within range, but...
Yeah, it would have put me closer, but it wouldn't have been enough.
Wow. Well, that was a hard-fought match. Cool.
Look at all these passwords. They're so different.
I think the did this passwords carry over anything besides what level you're on?
I think it's just level.
Yeah, so
I think it's just level.
it must just be
level
that you
and
died in
power.
different stages.
Probably.
Okay. Well, so that's it for match one. We have Neosporin taking first place with a 140, and Zyre right behind him with a 142 in second. Countdown at 157 in third place, and BassguitarBill's best time with 214. Our next match is going to be Ninja Gaiden 3, which was the mystery game. Switch over to it.
Players have had a whopping 1 hour to learn how to speedrun this, was level 32A, 232D or something.
Just all of 3-2.
All 3-2 minus the boss.
The boss is actually 33A.
Excellent. So yeah, we reveal the mystery game to the players about an hour before the match starts, so they only have 60 minutes to practice this, as opposed to the Bubble, which they got a week to work on. So a little bit different mode of attack here. Really, this is just a test of how fast people can route new material and, you know, pick up a game. And
So
we're
we
gonna
gave the
bring-
players 7 different games to vote on for their mystery game. We don't just stick them with Ninja Gaiden and say, haha, screw you, you have to do the hard game.
That's how it felt.
Yeah, they all get to vote. And you can even veto certain games, but apparently just based off the way, you know, someone would veto a game that most other people liked, and that sort of thing, and we ended up with Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden hype.
Yes.
Everybody else had speedrunning experience?
No, just vetoed the other games.
Yep. And we've got our expert commentator here, InfestedRiche is here.
Hello.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Gonna give us the inside scoop. Rich is the world record holder for this game.
Yep. So try not to embarrass yourselves.
Great, you're messing up my game now. The pressure's on.
Cool. Alright, does everyone get their script set up? Waiting for one person. I added a little text crawl to explain the rules, but we got a very busy screen today because I also have another crawl for the follow the new channel thing.
It is a little. I just
It
kind
is
of looked at it.
pretty busy right now.
It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
You get the Skype thing. You get what's this timer, best times, game name, episode, match 2.
Yep. And it's a
Four
long game name.
screens,
Possibly
all
the
these
longest game
names.
we've had.
Oh man.
Alright, so does everybody... Looks like everyone's got their script up. Are all the players ready to start?
Yes.
Yep.
Or is anybody not
sir.
ready to start?
Ready to go.
Alright, cool. Well, without further ado, let's get this thing going. I'm going to count you guys down. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Good luck, guys.
So this is Ninja Gaiden 3. It's the most different from the 3 Ninja Gaidens, I would say. Not quite as brutally hard. It's just kind of regular, very hard.
I actually
And,
think it's the hardest in the series.
Yeah, you think? Well, you would know, I would think. So I trust your judgment. But it
Especially-
controls the most different.
Yeah, it is.
So, like, what are some of the things that differentiate 3 from the rest of the series?
For example, you take a lot of damage in this game, and I see that you're playing on the American version. That's also the hardest version and the one that we compete in. And yeah, it's like a really funky movement compared to the other ones. Because, like you said, it's really different, like much more floaty jump. So it's kind of an awkward platformer at the beginning, but you get used to it.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, I'd say, felt very similar. Like, pretty much it felt like it was the same engine, other than not being able to climb walls in Ninja Gaiden 1. But, you know, you hit jump and it had basically the same trajectory. But this, it definitely feels different controlling the character.
Yeah, it's I actually speedrun all 3, and I also do like my own relay races when I play all 3 games in one sitting. and every time when I get to 3, it always takes like some minor time before I get used to like the differences.
So every Ninja Gaiden game has an overpowered sub-weapon, and in this one, would that be the fire wheel that we're seeing there? That's the overpowered one?
Most likely, yeah. At least at the end of the game, which is like the brutal part of the game. And other than that, I don't remember, I think it's called the arrow, the weapon that goes up and down when you use it.
That gets a lot of use?
Yeah, I think that's the one most useful in the overall otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you activate it mid-air, you can still like advance in the stage and it will somewhat follow behind you, and in some parts it even covers your back. You should like take damage from a bullet and fall down a pit, but it saves your ass.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's actually in this little goal that they're doing, that weapon is actually really useful in the beginning. But since they're not, you get it in the screen before, so they don't have it here in the goal.
So what does it do? What does it use up in terms of Nimpo, that fire wheel?
Fire wheel is 20 Nimpo.
What? It's 20 Nimpo and it lasts a fixed amount of time?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I don't know the exact time, but yeah.
All right.
I think it's like all the other Ninja Gaiden games.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, what's really good about Fire Wheel is that you can run on spikes that normally insta kills you.
I see. So it doesn't just...
You are completely invincible while you use it.
Complete invincibility, and it kills the enemies that it touches.
Yeah. The only thing, like, of course, that you can't, if you fall down a pit, you're dead, but it can't be too good. And for for bosses, if you use the fire wheel, if the fire wheel touches the body, it gets depleted and disappears, and only does like 1 damage on the boss. So fire wheel ain't too good for the bosses, except for some if you use it in a particular way.
Now, does this game have slash canceling?
Somewhat. There's a really weird technique in this game, and it's taken from the task, of course. I'd say like my record run of this game is 1 second from perfect. The only way I can improve it basically is if I master this task technique, which is like, yeah, extremely. And like, even if you're somewhat good at it, it's a technique that's really useful for like 4 or 5 bosses in the game, where you can gain, I think, probably 5 or 10 seconds if you master it. But yeah, what you're doing is you jump into the air and slash with B. Then you can do a thing with, let's see here. If you press up A after that slash, you kind of go into like a weird stance in the air while when he holds his arms up in the air over his head, and that resets his slash. What do you want to call it? Like timing. So you can slash again.
So that's a different input than the Ninja Gaiden 1 slash canceling.
Yeah, in Ninja Gaiden 1 you just jump and press down and B almost at the same time.
Right.
And it's something like down B and then let go of B and then let go of down.
Well, it's just jump up and do down and B almost. Right. Well,
down has to be before B, I think.
Yeah, down has to be before B.
But you can let go of them in any order.
Yeah, but the window is so tight, so you can almost press them at the same time and it still works. But yeah, if you look at the inputs, it's down first and then B immediately after. But in this game, it's jump up, slash with B, and then do up plus A. So you reset, and then you do repeat that as fast as you can. B,
That's
up,
weird.
A. And this, what's really hard about it is you use an info with up B. So if you do a slight error, you will use an info instead.
Oh, no.
And, where the technique is useful is at the end, where you have the fire wheel, which costs 20 info. And if you accidentally use it, it's GG. You lose the round.
Can you attack while you have the fire wheel going?
Yeah.
Oh, you can. Okay, but it's still like a waste of info.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it's real. The info management is really optimized. You gotta do how the route is. You can't go around that. If you like accidentally use it, it's over.
Yeah. So the info's
I
all
remember
routed out.
There's spots where with the fire wheel you're just kind of walking through these certain areas and everything dies, but without it, it's literally hell. Literally.
Yeah, like
Literally.
if you look at like the last level, it's you get the invincible fire wheel immediately in the first screen of the last stage, but the last stage is like 3 minutes long, and any error in that stage is it's like reset, even for marathons. So when we did it at AGDQ, we for the relay race, when I played this game, we did a practice round in one of the practice rooms before, like both teams sitting down and approached it like it was the real deal. And I actually had to force a game over because I took an unfortunate death later on in the practice. Even though it was like, I think it was like 1 minute into the stage, it's still faster to force a game over, which is probably like die 2 more times to redo the whole stage and try to do it perfectly, than to advance through the whole stage without the invincible fire wheel. And the last boss, the boss gauntlet, is pretty much without it as well.
So let's take a look at the board here. We got, I don't know if there's any runs that are currently in the timing stage.
I believe everything is up to date.
All right, so we got Zyre in first place so far with a 53.3.
Oh, I lied. Zyre has a better run.
Zyre
He's
has a
still
better run than that. Okay. Well, so Zyre's got less than a 53.3 and still in first place. Neosporin in second place so far with 56, Countdown at 58, and BassguitarBill at 102. So still only a matter of seconds separating all these players, but on a goal that's about a minute long. It's very short, not the shortest one we've had, but pretty close. It is you're going to see a lot of optimization at this point, because it's going to take a lot to be able to bring down a time of such a short stage.
I looked at my run to compare my time for this goal. I can say that later on when they're done or something, not distract them or something like that.
All right.
Yeah, like there are still things that you can do to really optimize it. For example, while you're climbing a wall, you can do like also a technique taken from the task, but the task does it like so incredibly well. You can't do it RT, but you can do it somewhat at least. And you hold up to climb the wall, and what you want to do is jump out from the wall. For example, if you're climbing on the right wall, you press left A to jump out of it. And then immediately, like as soon as you let go of the wall, you press right again to re-grab it. And then you rinse and repeat, so you will kind of like scale the wall much faster.
Yep, that technique I think works in all the Ninja Gaidens. Ninja Gaiden 1, I know it works on ladders there.
Yeah, the different thing about this is that Ryu climbs the whole time while you hold up.
Right.
Unlike the other games where you are like in a fixed state and just gain momentum from your jumping. But this one is like you climb and jump at the same time.
Yep.
But in the task does it like, of course,
Perfectly.
for one frame to the left, and immediately the frame after they re-grab it. So like they Yeah, they have input basically every frame, which is
Yeah.
not bad. But you can do
Oscillating
it.
left and right 30 times a second.
Yeah, you can
No
do
thanks.
it like I do it to the extent that is possible for the RTA, but it saves like a fairly decent amount of time during the whole round. I'd say probably around 10 seconds or so for a 30-minute game.
Well, I mean, there is a good chunk of vertical climbing in this goal, so
Yeah, this
perhaps
one of the
if a
stages
player's
you-
looking to shave that extra second or something, they could.
For
Try
example,
messing around
this
with it.
wall where the Zyre just climbed down in the
Yep.
bottom left, that one is really climbable.
In C, yeah, part C.
Yeah.
Alright, so these guys are starting with 50 Ninpo, and they're starting with the orange shuriken. The orange shuriken they'll get a little bit of use out of, but I think at some point these guys are going to pick up the fire wheel. Somewhere in part B, I believe, is the fire wheel.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So they'll go out of their way briefly just to pick that up, because it really helps to be able to use that in the next section.
Yeah. I'd say that based on the players starting with the orange shuriken, they lose about 2 seconds compared to having the arrow that I talked about earlier. Just in this screen A alone.
Right. At the beginning of each world, it starts you with the basic Ninpo and the basic sub-weapon. But this is actually the second stage in this world, in World 3, so they could have started with all kinds of different things, but I started them with the orange shuriken and 50 Ninpo. 50 Ninpo, that's pretty generous, so it should be more than enough to do this level in. This game actually has upgrades for your maximum Ninpo. And I believe those are permanent upgrades that persist even when you continue?
Yeah. Same like in Ninja Gaiden 2.
Oh, I guess 2 is like that as well, yeah. So is 50 the lowest max Ninpo?
Let's see here. 40, I think. I think you start with 40 in the
Oh, it's
game.
40.
Yeah, I was about
okay.
to say, I think it's 40 that you start with.
And you get 10 for each max Ninpo upgrade?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yep.
I wonder what the maximum is that you can get.
There's
think
like
it's
one per
hum-
stage, so
Oh, really?
I think it's 100, but in the speedrun we don't need more than 80 max, I think it is. Because some of them are really far out of the way, so they're not worth to grab, or we like adjust the route so we don't lose too much time and stuff like that. Because there's like, I think the first.
Sorry, I just wanted to update that Neosporin's latest run came in. He's less than half a second behind Zyre, but Zyre's is still in first.
Nice.
Do you remember what you were going to say before I cut you off?
Yeah, just that I know, like the first maximum Ninpo we get is in the long auto-scroller in stage 2. So you don't lose any time grabbing that because it's an auto-scroller anyways. Yeah. There is one in this stage as well during the climb in C, I believe, but we don't grab that fire. It's kind of hard to take a look at it. Like for me, it's muscle memory. I'm just steaming through the game when I play this.
Yeah.
I really need to think about like what you really do.
Ooh, third place is being contested here by Bill.
Alright, yeah, so Bill just got a 59, and Countdown is at a high 58, so we'll see who's got the third place time. And also, there's only less than 1 second separating first and second place, so...
I'm submitting a new time as we speak, though.
Okay, Neo's got a new one coming in.
I think it's a half second, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a 52 flat, which is going to be a somewhat of an improvement over Neo's time. So, I mean, over Zyre's time, rather. So, yeah, that's interesting. An upset for first here. We got just over 13 minutes left on the clock.
Bill is 6 frames behind Countdown's run.
Wow, 6 frames. 1/10 of a second.
So yeah, like I haven't seen a lot of people play this game actually. I just have the reputation of being like the one Ninja Gaiden game that's not as good as the others. I really like it, and I want more people to play it, but it is really hard at the end. I've seen like really talented speedrunners try to beat this game, and they game over at final stage. And American version doesn't have unlimited continues.
Oh,
You have to redo the whole thing, and most of them give up now.
oh that sucks.
But for those who really want to just play the game through, I'd suggest you play the Japanese version. The item drops are slightly different, but you take a lot less damage from everything in the game. For example, like in this American version, there are some hazards like spikes that does like 8 damage, and I think you have like 22 or something max HP. But in Japanese, I think they do like 2 or 3 damage only. And you have like a lot of checkpoints in the Japanese version. It's not as frequent as every screen, but it feels really close to it, like it's very often.
Wait, so the checkpoints will be more frequent than at the subsection changes?
Oh yeah, they are like probably for every letter, I'd say.
Okay.
Not sure actually. I haven't.
Wait, but in this version, in the US version that they're playing here, you would go back to the beginning of the stage, not at the letter?
For this stage, actually, you start where the goals start here. That's the checkpoint for the stage. But
Oh, really?
For
So
most
if you...
of the stage,
Wow.
most of the stages are back to the beginning, or if there's like a really long stage, like the final stage, it's there is one pretty deep in.
That's tricky.
Yeah.
Not nice. Okay, well, good thing we're playing on the US version. Not that that's going to matter, because any sort of mistake, these guys are going to reset.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But for example, like I said, the drops are different, and for this short goal, I think there's like a fire wheel right at pretty like early here in the screen A. So you could probably steamroll through most of the enemies here without really caring. And
Yeah.
there's top of that there is another one like later on. Like Japanese version really they just throw invincible fireworks at you.
Okay, so we got the timing for Neosporin's run came in, and it looks like 51.96 versus Zyre's 51.73. So he is about 13 frames. Neosporin is 13 frames slower than Zyre still.
And Bill just took 3rd place.
Yeah, and Bill's down to 3rd place. Wow. Or up to 3rd place, I guess. With the 157.87 versus Countdown's 58.08.
And the resets over over the smallest things now.
Yep.
I like that. Competitive.
Yep. That's what happens with these shorter goals.
Yeah, this is really short. If we ever do this again, I might add the boss to the goal, just to make it a little longer. But I just wanted it to be uncomplicated and to not have people be scared off by Ninja Gaiden 3's reputation.
Well, you wouldn't have scared me off. That's true. That's
Another really cool, nice thing about this game is something that Duckfist points out a lot as well, that the graphics of this game is like one of the best I've seen on the NES.
It is very detailed. There's a lot of stuff happening. I'm surprised that it isn't laggier than it is.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think there's any zones or where there is lag actually.
Well, if someone wants to turn on the lag counter by pressing the / key, we can see for ourselves what the lag looks like. Yeah, Neo's got it on. Oh no, that's the re-record count.
I got 0 frames when I load up BassguitarBill's last movie that he submitted.
As you can
That's
see,
pretty
like
impressive.
Yeah,
when they drop
Zyre's got it.
in screen A, it's like really fluid. Like there's lots of animes coming on screen, leaving screen, and still like so.
Right, and lots of animated stuff happening in the background. The water.
Yeah, that's water exactly. But this game came out '93, I believe, so very
Yes.
late in NES era.
Uh-huh. Yeah, already well into the Super Nintendo. Well, a little bit into the Super Nintendo era at that point. That weird crossover era where Nintendo Power had stuff about both NES and SNES games. Yeah, but I'm looking at Zyre has got the frame counter or the lag counter up, and it's been 0 the entire time.
Yep.
Ah, that bee.
Yeah, one of the
Another
things-
nice thing about this game is that I noticed the other day when I checked eBay for like random NES games that it has gone up in the price a lot.
a lot.
It's almost $80 for a cart only.
Wow.
Wow. I sometimes wonder how much the speedrun community drives the price of old games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many NES game collectors, though, that I think they kind of outnumber the speedrunners by such a huge amount. But definitely the speedrunning, the speedrunning scene can create a sudden demand for games that otherwise wouldn't have that demand. Like, I remember at some point it was hard to find Japanese, like, Link to the Past that had the, the right version to be able to do the cool
Oh, yeah.
tricks.
I actually bought that cart like 2 months ago and it was, really cheap now.
Oh, that's good. But yeah, for a while it was just, they were just hard to come by.
So I don't
Okay.
think we've talked about it, but BassguitarBill is opting not to get the fire wheel.
He is opting not to. Also, we've got a little less than 5 minutes left on the clock. So that's enough time to do about 50 runs of this.
At the rate I keep resetting, yep.
Yeah. To start 50 runs of it, yeah.
Yeah, well, the fire wheel is gonna really come in handy at the end of the stage. There's like really no way around it. You like need it to go full speed ahead.
It's worth thinking outside the box for these SGL goals, because there's, when you're doing a full speed run, there's usually stuff that comes afterwards that the speed run cares about a lot. But when the goal ends, like, that's it, right? So it's possible, like, that even though fire wheel would be good to have later on, it might be just a little bit slower to go for it within the context of this goal. But I think, just based off of the times we're seeing and some of the spots where you can get held up, I think the fire wheel probably is still the fastest way to get through here.
Yeah.
So I think this is actually the end of the world, though, right? Or the end of this World 3?
Yeah, it's the boss door at the end.
So that's that
Go
boss.
left.
After that boss, you would lose whatever sub-weapon you have, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And you lose all the Nimpo as well?
Yeah, you go back to the
10.
normal, just 10.
Yep. Okay.
And you lose the sword power-up if you have that.
Okay, what's the sword power-up do?
There's like a sword extension that, yeah, when you slash, there's like a much bigger sword.
Ah, sword range. Okay. Is there one
Oh,
of
yeah.
those in this goal anywhere? In this stage?
Yeah, it's out of reach though, but there is one.
It's out of reach? Or
It's out of the way.
Okay, okay. I see. So no one's gonna get it. I mean, I don't see a sword extension helping at all with this goal, really. So I guess
Yeah,
not.
it's kind of it's like a nice upgrade for casual playing.
So does
in
the
this
basic
game,
sword have a
it's-
shorter slash than like Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2?
No, you can attack just as fast with both yeah, different variations. There are some bosses that needs like some extra range,
The extra range.
but not for this stage actually.
Oh.
The trick to like handling this boss really well is coming up like two frogs. You like use your invincible fire wheel to stand. They do like a spray of shurikens, and you can just stand in the sweet spot and attack them with your short sword.
Wow, so still a very close race between first and second. Zyre with a slight lead. 0.2 seconds, a little over 0.2 seconds.
Yeah, like you said, the mythical about the fire wheel, that it might be, well, think outside the box, but there actually is a faster way to grab the invincible fire wheel than what these guys are doing. It saves about a second only, but it's something that I didn't do in my SDA run, which I heard someone said that they looked at, so...
So normally they go past it and they turn around and jump and then get it, right? That's how they're
Yeah,
doing it here.
that's what I did before. But
Okay.
oh, by the way, they can't do it here in this goal because you need an arrow for that.
Oh, well then never mind.
Never mind them. Yeah.
Okay, well we're getting down to it. Just 5 seconds left on this clock. So now is your last chance to reset. If you'd like to reset, please do it now. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with this run. And window of opportunity is closed. So looks like Countdown got a run finished just in time to start one new one. Looks like Bill is taking a reset. Zyre is already well into a run here. Well, no, it looks like he took a reset also.
Yeah, and I messed it up already, so I'm not getting any better.
Okay, that sucks. But you're still in first, so I guess the burden is on Neo, who just... Wait, no, he's still doing okay.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's slow. I had one run that was maybe close, but I forgot to save it, and now I'm dead.
Oh, that's it. So looks like Zyre claims victory in match number 2. Just barely, a 51-73 versus Neosporin's 51-96. Extremely close.
Really good times as well.
And then the final run that Countdown submitted was a PB for him, and actually was enough to put him right back into third place. So Bill crept up there for a while, got ahead of Countdown, but on the very last run, Countdown takes it back. Nice. Excellent
Nice,
match,
yeah.
guys.
I finally realized And then like the very last run that you don't have to turn around to get the fire wheel. You can just jump and get it if you get a really precise jump.
Yeah, super
Yeah, I saw
precise.
that
I was-
actually.
I actually tried that like not even once.
I was trying it almost every time.
Wow. Well, that sure
I
made a
should
difference.
have.
Well, yeah, you got your PB was by 3.5 seconds, so that's pretty
Yeah.
big.
And I like screwed up the last room pretty bad too. So
Interesting.
that was
All
fun
right.
though.
So, Rich, what was your time for this?
47 seconds.
47 seconds. Now, bearing in
And,
mind he's going to come in with the arrow, so that's going to save you a couple seconds, but still.
Yeah, if I do the count properly here, I think I gain 2 seconds in screen A by having arrow and yeah, doing some fancy strats there.
I see.
And like I talked about earlier as well, the specific climbing you can do on the long vertical walls. I probably save maybe 1.5, and the other 0.5-ish second is just optimization, I guess.
So that was interesting. I don't think I saw anybody trying to do that task climbing on that wall.
No, I didn't see anything of it.
So in a match that's this close, that could have made the difference. All right, well, we're getting set up for the next match here, match number 3. We're back to Bobble again.
This time we're jumping up to level 50. And we're going to play through to level 54. And the power-up situation is a little different this time. The counts are... I think it's set up so that a green candy spawns on level 50. And the counts are pretty close for both the blue candy and the shoes. You either have to bounce 5 times or...
Yeah,
maybe
5
10.
times for the shoes.
And pop something like 10 bubbles for the blue candy. So players could kind of choose which one they wanted, if they want either at all, and it was something they had to consider when they created their routes.
Yep. All right, we'll just wait a moment for the players to get set up.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off, but I'll be back later on with feasel.
Yep. We're gonna be Rich is gonna
yeah.
be back a little bit later. After this match is over, after this match is over, we're gonna play the bonus game for a while. And then at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we are going to be doing the tutorial for Joe and Mac for the Big 20 race. So Rich will be back for that.
Yep.
Cool. Thanks for helping us out.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Good luck to all the players. See you later.
Bye-bye. So yeah, here we get to see a little bit of a recap of what's happened so far. On match 1, Neosporin took first place, Zyre second place, Countdown third. Match 2, Zyre's in first place, Neosporin's in second place, and Countdown in third. In Bobble, we'll see what happens. So, let's see. Looks like everyone's got their script set up. Let you guys get used to this for a moment. Well, if you like SGL, please follow our channel here, twitch.tv/speedgaming, which you're watching right now, or you can also, you can also follow our Twitter, which is at SpeedGamingShow on Twitter. Website speedgaming.tv, where you can get information about how it works, how to volunteer, how to be a player, etc.
It's fun.
Good, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, we're always looking for new players, and also volunteers for all kinds of things,
making goals, testing goals, helping out the show, lots of things you can volunteer for. We still need a player for next week. I think we're still short one player for next week, so if anybody's out there and wants to jump in, fill that spot, it could be yours, let me know. But anyway, we do this every Saturday afternoon, and pretty soon we'll be doing it more frequently than that. We're going to be doing a Thursday evening SGL for people who want to do SGL but can't make it Saturdays. It's also going to be a little bit different format. It's going to be just mystery games. We're not going to have the week-long practice, so it'll be sort of like a SGL without the commitment. Just show up and play some matches. Be a little bit harder in a way because you won't have much chance to practice it. You'll just have your 60 minutes, but maybe it'll be appeal to people who don't have the hour to, or I mean the week to devote to learning the game.
Just think of it like the mystery tournament
Right.
that was going on Speedruns Live.
Oh yeah, speaking of mystery tournament, they're into the top 8 now, I believe.
Uh-huh. Yep, and they're doing broadcasts every Saturday afternoon for, I believe at the same time as this. Or maybe it's a little later, I'm not sure. I think the time sort of varies depending on when people choose to do their matches. But yeah, at the Speedruns Live channel, they've got coverage of that. Okay, so looks like everyone's got themselves acclimated. I think it's time to start this match off. Anybody not ready to go? Nope, doesn't sound like it. The one person who's in the bathroom and can't hear me. No, we are all here. I think. Everyone's playing except Bill. Bill, you there?
I am here.
Okay, cool.
He's just that confident.
He's relaxing. He needs to relax and get his into the right
I'm in my
headspace.
Zen place.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Not confident.
No, I said you're so confident that you're not
Yeah.
even
Oh,
playing.
right.
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Don't let these scrubs get a head start on me.
Okay, well, with that, I'm going to start you guys off. 3, 2, 1, go. So we're back to Bobble. Match 3 here. Bobble. The second goal is going to be levels 50 through 54. So this is a little bit further into the game. Like I said, there's over 100 levels, so there's a lot of levels, but this is about halfway through. Maybe a little bit before halfway through. The game has ramped up in difficulty a little bit, but not too much. I would say pretty much after the first few stages where they're teaching you how the game works, it sort of peaks in terms of difficulty. There's a few really hard stages peppered in here and there, but for the most part what makes all these stages difficult in the speedrun is just the same thing that makes any of the other stages difficult. Just routing, knowing where the enemies are going to appear and how they're going to move.
Well, these laser guys are kind of genuinely assholes.
Yes. And especially once they turn red and start going back and forth super fast, there's really no getting underneath them. I like this level 53 because you can just bubble all the enemies and pop them at once. Short and sweet. Got a little bit of bubble bouncing happening in stage 54 in order to get up to the top.
Alright, I had a good run already. What was the time?
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, Neo just recorded
Congratulations.
ones.
Yeah.
It's like a 140, high 140. Oh, 141. Okay. So Neo's got one coming in. Mythical is going to be verifying the timing, and it'll appear in that box on the left as soon as that's verified.
Yeah, that's possibly a PB too, but I didn't have a great 53.
Yep. So you'll see in the stage that Countdown and Bill are doing right now, there are blue bubbles, and what those bubbles do, those are water bubbles. When you pop it, yeah, you see them zipping around like that. Whether you're touching the bubble or not, the popped part of the bubble will zip around the level and hit the enemies and kill them. It's actually very helpful if you can, time it so that you're actually able to hit all the enemies with it. You can also use it as a fast means of transport, because if you jump into the thing that comes out of the popped bubble, you yourself will be zipped around to the bottom of the screen. But if you were able to pop 20 of those bubbles, you would get an umbrella to appear on the next stage, which would warp you ahead several levels and actually would be the end of this goal. But I don't think that there's any possible way that standing around on that screen until 20 of those blue bubbles spawn is going to be a viable strategy for this.
Who knows? They do spawn often enough in that stage.
Yeah, they do, but 20 takes a while.
If the goal was longer and it included, you know, a couple extra stages and then you skipped 5 stages, that, you know, might be a thing. But we obviously had that in mind when we created the goals, and let's not have it be a stupid RNG umbrella fest.
Right, but if you think about it, even if it spawns only once every 5 seconds, that's still longer than, you know, the 1 minute 40-ish seconds that it takes to beat this goal. The whole thing, so not really gonna happen. And aren't you glad that level 50 is the first level? So you can just reset right to it. And not the last.
No, I hate 53.
53, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I feel pretty confident. Oh, and then I die right when I say it. Oh, didn't let go.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where you do want to make sure that you're popping the bubble the moment that you blow it. So you got to be right up touching the enemy, and then you press the B button and blow the bubble and pop the bubble at the same time. Otherwise, these guys will fly away from you, go up to the top of the screen, and then you're going to waste time chasing after them.
If you watch my route, the 5th guy, you actually don't want that to happen.
The 5th guy?
Reset some, yeah, so you can... Essentially what you do is you blow him into a bubble and you manage to jump on him one time to get up to the candy area.
Oh, I see. Clever.
Yeah, that took me a while to figure out.
That's how you get in the head.
Yeah, I did it so accidental the first time, and so I sat there for about 20 minutes to figure out what the timing on doing that trick before I was falling through the stage.
Cool. Well, these guys are set up so that the green candy will spawn on the first stage. And beyond that, they have the option of either going for the blue candy or the shoes on the stage after that, depending on which of the actions, the trigger actions they decide to focus on. It's looking like the shoes are the more useful item to these players at that point, or at least they want to get the shoes earlier. And then I'm not sure if they're going to bother with the blue candy or not.
If I get it, I get it. If I don't, it's not a big deal.
I agree with that sentiment.
I love watching those blue bubbles just destroy everything.
Yeah, really fun. There's a few levels where you just pop one blue bubble and it kills all the enemies in it. It's just set up so that if they're in the right place at the right time, you can get the whole bunch.
Oh, that was dumb.
Oh boy. Apparently I didn't bounce on the bubbles enough.
So right there you saw that BassguitarBill was in the top left corner, and that's not as bad as being in the top right corner, but you do see that there was a little bit of a delay before he got to spawn on the next level. But given the layout of that level, that's probably the best thing to do. If you're stuck up there at the top, there's not really any way to get towards the lower left quadrant, so, you know, minimize one of the 2 dimensions that you have to travel at least.
Sometimes it's possible to go through the ceiling and come up underneath.
Yes. That's the other option.
Like, sometimes the game realizes that, like, even if you're not wrapped all the way around, the game kind of realizes, like, you know what, it would be faster if we sent you up through the ceiling. And it'll be nice and do that for you rather than try to pull you all the way down.
Right, there's actually like 2 tiles worth of space above the ceiling and below the floor, and the wraparound is somewhere in there, and you can't see it. You're off screen, and sometimes you just barely cross that wraparound, and it counts you as being at the very bottom of the screen. But the problem with, you know, going for that right as the, you know, as you're about to bubble up, is that if you happen to, you know, be just short of that threshold, then you're at the topmost part, and that wastes even more time getting down to the level, so you could be making it worse. So it's kind of a risky thing to go for.
Sweet 52.
Yeah, 52, if you can get some lucky blue bubble popping, that stage can go by so fast.
There is a special spot if you stand on that stage where it will clear out the 3 guys on the right and the 2 things at the bottom, and so all you really have to worry about is the 2 ghosts. And you can jump out of the bubble to get to them as you go down. But it's tricky to get the timing window right on when you have to hit the bubble.
Oh, come
Ooh.
on.
Oh, stop killing that guy.
Whoa. Oh, let's see. So yeah, you have a couple lives in this, and you can die during the goal. It's not necessarily a bad thing. When you die, you respawn in the lower left, and everything else just continues as normal without you. But you know, it really depends when that happens. I could sort of see death as being a useful shortcut, maybe in some routes, but given that you lose the items that you have when you die, probably in this goal it's not going to be something that's used intentionally.
So how did you guys, how did you find using the shoes the first time you had to grab those?
Hated it. It really was the issue of, like, the shoes were fine right up until the last stage where what I was finding I was doing was I was killing all the guys on the bottom way too fast, and so when I'd go up the right side, I'd always run into the ghost, and so it kind of messed up the easy timing in terms of just go as fast as you can.
Huh.
Like, you had to take a half-second pause for it to be safe. But then I just went away with that route entirely and go up top first.
Well, I got something at least.
Oh, I never... What? Oh, I just...
I hear a Franker Z.
Alright, so I got about 17 and a half minutes left on the clock. So far, looks like Neosporin has got a run that I'm sure he's pretty happy with. What, 140? BassguitarBill at 211.68 in second place, and Countdown at 219. Zyre has got his 156 run that hasn't been officially timed yet, so we don't know what the time's going to be, but most likely that's going to be his second place time.
Wait. Is that a tie?
Whoa, what?
Okay, yeah, that's the wrong movie. Okay.
Oh.
Undo. That would be quite a coincidence. Not that that hasn't happened, but still, it's always surprising. Minutes is misspelled. Oh no, did I misspell minutes? I was in such a hurry when I typed this. How embarrassing.
Okay, I think all the times are up to date.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so we've got still Neo in first at 140. Zyre's got 156 for second. BassguitarBill 211 in third. And Countdown 219 in fourth. So this goal, I would think, would be a bit harder than the first goal. Not just because it's later in the game, but also because you have the item usage. So a little bit more complicated, some stuff to think about. How much do you guys have to go out of your way in order to do the number of pops and bounces, etc., that you need to get the items you want?
I lose no time at all to get any of the items.
Okay. Because it's going to happen naturally as you just do these levels. You know, you're going to be blowing, popping bubbles, and bouncing on them, but I didn't know if you had to do something a little bit different just so you can get the item you want.
Yeah, you pretty much are able to get everything along the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it helps that you have a little bit of downtime at the end of each level that you can use to blow bubbles or pop bubbles or bounce on them.
Yeah, I get my 5 bounces in that dead time. Oh.
I think in general, the more open the level is, the easier it is to do. I find that the ones that are the hardest ones are the ones that are filled with compartments, sort of like level 50, where every enemy has its own compartment, as opposed to 53, where the enemies all just float down in one chunk. You can just shoot them all at once.
I
Yeah,
agree.
agreed.
33, I think. The one in the first event with the pink diagonal striping.
Mhm.
That's just a nightmare. Everyone's in their own separate box.
Yeah.
Oh, I got bottled.
You got bobbled?
I didn't know those guys even do that.
Yeah, they do.
What a jerk. Just throws a bottle at you.
What?
Yeah, it's based on
Yeah.
how far away you are from them.
Which one?
Yeah.
The
The
little
green
dudes
hooded
in
guys.
51.
Oh, right, because they're supposed to be,
Yeah.
they're small clones of Super Drunk, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, they do throw bottles. Look at that. That just happened. So yeah, that's what the final boss looks like. Final boss is called Super Drunk, and he throws bottles at you. The empties that he's finished off. But it looks like the miniature Super Drunks also throw bottles at you, so that's interesting.
Yeah, but their bottles boomerang as well, whereas Super Drunks, they just fly off the screen.
Yeah, he just throws a bunch of them that kind of arc off the screen somewhere.
Some pretty incredible names in this game. You got the Baron von Blubba and Super Drunk, the final boss. Like, you got Bub and Bob of Bubble and Bobble.
Do these other enemies have names? Any of them in the manual?
I bet they do.
I think I read that they all do have kind of wacky names.
Yeah, I would bet that they do, and that they're silly.
If you're in the chat and you're a Bubble Bobble aficionado,
You can name them all,
enlighten
please do.
us. Yeah.
Also, this game has got excellent music. It doesn't get old, and I'm really sad that we can't just play the song for you on a giant loop the entire episode.
Is anyone else
52
listening to it?
seconds
Or does...
long.
Huh?
I'm listening to it.
You are? The viewers at home are getting just random stuff off Ringwave, but
Lucky then.
lucky them. I was considering going and getting a 10 hours of Bubble Bobble music YouTube video to play.
Oh yeah. It's out there. I was telling a friend, I was like, so this game is on SGL next week, and I'm so glad that I don't have to do it, because here's the music, and I sent the YouTube link. And I was like, it is 52 seconds long, including the intro that does not get looped. The part that loops is only like 40 seconds. Jesus.
Oops.
How much time do we have left?
Just over 10 minutes.
Okay.
I don't think we ever talked about how some of these blocks are sort of invisible, or they're visible, but they're not actually there. They're illusory. So these blocks in the middle of 50, you can fall straight through. The ones in the middle here.
Okay, yeah, that's right. They're blocks that you could just pass right through. It's like hidden passages in the blocks. There's a lot of those in this game. I think this is maybe the only place in the goal where that comes into play. Not that it makes a difference in the stage at all, but yeah, it's a what do you call it? A mechanic that's used more in other levels. So is everybody using the shoes?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of figured. I sort of
Helps out
don't.
a lot.
Yeah, I don't really care much for the shoes just because I suck at using them, but probably for a goal this short, it's worth, taking a chance, making your guy harder to control just for the sake of saving those extra seconds. Although this is not a particularly close match so far, like the players seem to be pretty well separated, at least compared to the other matches we've had.
That is difference between the people who really investigated the routes and the people who didn't, I'd say.
It might be the difference between who's gotten a good run in yet and who hasn't. I mean, it's...
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Zyre gets a much better time, but...
Oops.
Well, anybody, I think anybody could take off just, 5-10 seconds from their time just from, fewer mistakes. It's because it is a pretty challenging goal to complete without, a major enough mistake that you would reset over. So I think all these players are still a bit far from the most that they're capable of given the route that they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get a better time than Neo. He's got a much better stage 50 route than I do.
Wow,
And then
I didn't
51
notice
is
that
just
countdown.
trolling me.
I didn't notice a countdown had another run in, and he's 3 frames faster than Bill.
So now Countdown is crept by BassguitarBill.
Oh no!
Yep.
It's
at a-
happening again!
Yeah, 211.63 versus 211.68. Countdown's creeping in there. About 7 minutes left in the clock. So are you guys finding the lightning bubbles useful at all?
Nope.
Not really.
Yep, that's been my experience with Bobble. That the fire bubbles can be useful, the water bubbles can be useful, the lightning bubbles, you're never going to hit anything. And some of the stages, they intend for you to use only lightning bubbles to complete it. Fortunately, none of these are like that.
Yeah, I think level 30, there are these guys who are trapped in these U-shaped boxes, and there's all these lightning bubbles, and you're like, well, you could send one straight across and take out all three, except the enemies jump all the time. So it's a total crapshoot.
Yeah, some of the levels, they got a little silly with the design, and there's some of them where it's just you falling in this column infinitely and hitting lightning bubbles and hoping you can, luckily take out enough of the enemies that are next to you to beat the level. There's just some really silly ones that rely on lightning bolts.
Yeah, it's clear they went for it. As odd as it is for games this old of this genre, they went for kind of style over substance on a lot of these levels, where they're just like, popcorn, it's a big pan and there's a lot of fire and you can make popcorn. And
Right. It's very gimmicky.
Is that a good level? I don't know, but
Yep. Yeah, some of the levels have names that I think they're named after programmers. I mean, like names spelled out in the level.
yeah.
I think that each of the programmers got to have a level to put their own name in, their own vanity level.
I was listening to the, I think it was Portal 2 commentary that you can turn on when you play through the game. And at one point you get to a section where levels are designed by Wheatley, the character in the game, is kind of an idiot. And so one of the things they did was they had players design their own levels. What a lot of people really like to do is like spell things on the walls with textures and stuff. And so that's why it says test or whatever on the wall in Wheatley's chamber, and it just made me think like they intentionally put it there to be like a bad amateur design. But Bobble proudly sports its letters and words spelled out in tiles.
Right. No one will ever see this level, so who cares what we put in it? It'll
Game's
be an Easter
difficult
egg.
enough.
Jesus. 57. That is the worst level. That's the one where you have to bounce up to the top, and there's laser guys at the top shooting you. And,
Yes.
Yep, it just sucks.
But fortunately, these players are not going to have to play it, though. We're giving them just a short 5-level stretch of the game to complete within this match here. So they're only doing 50 through 54. We tried very, very hard to not give them any levels that were just obnoxious, because there are a few levels that are just infamously terrible. So hopefully these are all, levels that don't make you pull your hair out.
I almost want to go back to the Skype conversation.
Yeah, where we were trying to pick these levels out.
Yeah. You were like, well, I don't see a whole lot of bullshit here.
Right, that was really our criteria, is we got to find 5 levels in a row that don't contain any BS.
Yeah.
Well, a minimum amount. There's always going to be some amount of BS.
As soon as these laser guys are on screen,
Right, yeah, we say that as these laser guys are shooting.
the BS meter
Right.
starts going crazy.
Yep. There's a couple levels in this game where the only way to get these enemies is to go into like a small sub-chamber within the room where the enemies are kind of bouncing around super fast, and you just really run the risk of getting hit, and There are a few things like that that are just a little frustrating. We didn't want to include.
Seems everyone has made it out of level 50 at the same time.
That's
That
the
might be
first time we haven't
time.
seen
Yep.
level 50 on the screen.
Yep.
Cool. Who's gonna break the pattern? Who will it be?
Countdown took a death, but he's determined. No, both,
Bill did
both
it
him
first.
and Bill. God, those lasers.
Yeah. Just under 2 minutes left on the clock.
So there's all kinds of other crazy drops in this game. I don't know how you get them to appear, if they're random or what, but there's like, you can get a necklace that gives you the
Points.
ability to kill anything you touch, and there's
Oh,
a
it does?
necklace that causes all 6 letters of extend to appear in the next level, and there's all kinds of wacky things.
It causes the letters to spawn, but you still have to collect each of the letters, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I found a spreadsheet that actually shows you every requirement to get every useful item,
Oh, neat.
and they all have separate counters of various kinds.
Wow, so
Kill
there are
this
more.
many enemies, do this many lightning bolts, this much fire, this much. Basically, everything gets counted.
Oh, interesting. So we were only looking at the bubbles popped, bubbles blown, and bubbles bounced on here for this goal, but
And the blue bubbles.
and the blue bubbles, which
The
won't
umbrella.
really come into play. But yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
there's a lot more than that to it.
Yeah, and there's nothing useful in them though, because I was looking for any secrets that you guys didn't give us.
we could have
like-
we could have potentially missed something real bad that just
Yeah,
Right, that's you get an umbrella to spawn if you do this.
exactly. I was looking for it, but nothing useful.
Yeah, other than that, most of the rest of the stuff just gives you points. If you see, like, cakes and martinis and stuff like that, points.
Yep. If it's edible, it's probably points.
Edible or potable, it's worth points. Well, we're coming down to that time now, so this is going to be your last chance to reset. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with this run. And window of opportunity is closed.
Oops.
And I just finished the run.
Oh, that's too bad. It's a little bit too late.
That's okay. It is a new,
It was
new
PB
time
though.
for me anyway.
153 and a half, it looks like, from the manual splits. Nicole's working on the timing of that, so we'll have the exact time in the box on the left. But probably not going to be enough to unseat Neosporin as the #1 place for this match. It is still a dead heat between Countdown and Bill, though.
You kidding me?
Alright, yeah, looks like Countdown's well ahead of his PB, as is BassguitarBill, so this is pretty exciting.
Oops, that-
Countdown takes a death in 53. Loses the shoes and the green candy.
Well, we'll see what happens. Still a little bit ahead of his PB, though. There are only a couple frames separating these guys, so really anything
I thought-
green at the end is going to be good. Oh, Countdown
Close, but
eats
no
it.
cigar.
That's sad. Alright, let's see if Bill can improve.
And a 149 with a death.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, when these enemies
Circus
come out of the
free.
bubble, they turn red. There we go.
Zyre demonstrating level 57 for us.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is one of these awful levels where it relies on you bouncing off bubbles to get up there. And it's got
I
these,
can't seem.
these missile shooters. Try the sides. Well, those you're gonna get shot if you do there. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right, and if you pop any of those bubbles, they all pop.
Just have to hope that they sort themselves out before they. Nope.
Alright, because they'll eventually wiggle a little bit and kind of take you higher and higher up.
Yeah, eventually they kind of stack on top of one another, make a column. So that one's easier if you have two players, because then one person just focuses on making the tower and the other one just bounces.
Alright, so that match ended with Zyre getting a slight improvement to his PB, but still at being in second place. Neosporin with that 140.88, which I think was one of the first runs that he got in. It came in within the first third of the match and just stood.
It was first or second attempt, yeah.
First or second attempt, yeah, and it just stood the whole time. Let's see, and then Countdown crept up on BassguitarBill during that match and managed to maintain that 2-frame lead over BassguitarBill. Neither of them were able to get green numbers on their last run through, so it stayed, the standings stayed where they were. So congrats to both players. Both players. Congrats to all 4 players. I don't know what I'm thinking.
I wasn't going to say
both
anything.
players.
Just screw
Who are you
off.
congratulating?
Yeah, to 2 out of the 4 of you, congrats. Congrats to all 4 players for making short work of a game that really is a very tricky game to learn. It's a lot more work than you might think to route out this game. If you want to stick around, we're going to be playing a bonus game, which I will reveal in just a second here. I should have done that before I said I was going to reveal it. Well, give me a second.
Unfortunately, I do have to go, so I won't take
That's
part
cool.
in it.
You don't have to stick around for it.
I'll try it out for a bit.
Okay. You'll like it. Don't worry. You'll like it. Alright, so it is... Where'd it go? There it is. Alright, it should be up on your dashboard now if you refresh.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh yeah, what do you think of that?
That I can deal with
this is
this.
gonna be fun.
Alright, well, our bonus game, it is Smash TV for the NES. While they're setting up, let's go and just take a look at the overall standings for this episode. The overall results, rather.
Yep, Neosporin talked a big game, but he backed it up with the times.
Yep, it looks like Neosporin taking first. He's the big winner overall, taking first in the match 1 and match 3, both matches of Bobble. And took second place in match 2. So Neosporin, the big winner. Zyre a close second, just one match behind Neosporin, or one win behind Neosporin. Taking second place in the Bobbles and first place in Ninja Gaiden. Countdown a very consistent third place every time. And yeah.
And then the other thing.
I'm consistent too.
You're also consistent, yes. BassguitarBill, very consistent.
He's crying.
How was your first SGL episode?
This was intense. I need to concentrate more on routing because the game I did best on comparatively, well, up until Countdown right at the very end on Ninja Gaiden was Ninja Gaiden. You know, something I was routing kind of right there on the fly. But Bobble, I didn't have an item route. I just kind of went with it. And there were some levels I definitely could have picked better strategies for. So, it was good to get a match in. So now I know I'm prepared for whatever happens next time.
Nice.
Yep, it's tough being your first time to know what to expect or just really to anticipate what level of practice the other players are going to put into it.
Yeah, definitely.
I
is
only
our
did
hope
like
that
500
eventually-
runs of each goal.
Yeah, 500 runs. Yeah. It
Just
is our
about.
hope that eventually people really get into it and it becomes a thing that everyone really wants to do well at. Because we've had some players, everyone the Friday before the show are like, oh yeah, this thing, I guess I'll do a thing. But we've had some players who are they're coming up with strats all week long, and they're really challenging and pushing each other, and I hope we get to see some more of that. So thank you so much for coming on the show, and I really like the mindset that you've got going forward. So I look forward to having you guys back on the show.
I look forward to being back.
Same here.
So how about Smash TV? That's a thing.
Man, how about Smash TV? I don't even know what to say about that game.
Big money, big prizes.
I
love it. I think I had this as a kid, but it was one of those things where like I wasn't good at it right away, so I quit. I did that a lot when I was a kid. I think I beat Mario 3, but that might be like the only game I ever actually beat. Didn't help that I had games like Bayou Billy and Battletoads.
Yeah, that'll do it.
You just kind of get this. You just kind of think like, well, okay, this is how games are. You just can't beat games, so why try? So there's routes to Smash TV, right? Like there's like a map, and if you know where to go, it's stuff.
Yeah, but it pretty much tells you which direction to go once you've cleared a room.
Yeah, pretty much. I put in it's non-linear. You can go different ways, but I put the route for level 1 in the hints section.
It's pretty much
No, you
just
can just
go
check the
right,
map.
isn't it?
There's a map. Is it go right?
Yeah.
I actually would go up
Yeah,
and then
it-
over.
I
Was
it's
right
just-
faster?
I think you just go right to get to the boss
Oh, all right. Well, then do that
from
then.
the map that I saw in game, but I
I
could
thought
be
there was
wrong.
something in the center that you couldn't pass through. I guess I'm wrong.
Maybe there is. I don't know.
We'll find out.
No, that's cool. Yeah, if you can go right, I'll just
No,
change those
yeah.
tips.
No, yeah, you do have to go up or down once you clear the second room.
A brand new toaster.
Big money.
Yeah, you actually get a lot of toasters.
You get 1,000 toasters in this game.
Yeah. So do you get how
Okay.
the strafing works? It's a little weird. Okay, but for people who are watching at home and haven't played this game, the A button will shoot whatever direction you're facing in. So you just move around with the D-pad and then shoot the direction that you're walking or facing. But you can actually lock the direction of fire by pressing the B button, and it looks at whatever the last direction that you pressed the A button was, and it will fix your direction in that direction. So you can strafe and shoot things. It takes a little getting used to, but it's kind of a neat control system. The even neater control system, if you guys want, you can start again and get a save state with that if you want to try it. But you can actually, this is the first dual stick shooter. You can actually take two D-pads, two NES controllers, hold them sideways so that you're holding them in the palm of your hand and you've got your thumb on the D-pad. And the left one controls your movement and the right one controls the direction you fire. So you can play this with two D-pads.
That's awesome. I did not know about that.
Yep, you can even plug in a 4-player multi-tap and have 2 players both playing with 2 D-pads. So,
Damn.
the original dual stick shooter.
That's the kind of thing where, like, if you went over to a friend's house and he was like, check this out, I have 4 controllers, and you'd be like, oh my god, this kid's the coolest.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually have that still. The 4 controller adapter.
Well,
Nice.
I want to be your friend.
Yeah, we'll
Do
play
you
Gauntlet
have
2
the-
and Swords and Serpents together.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
have
what
4
my
working
family got it for,
controllers?
was for Gauntlet 2.
Gauntlet 2.
Do I have 4 controllers?
Like
No.
4 working controllers.
Yeah, 4 of them that don't
I
have
think 4
broken
working controllers
stuff.
Don't exist. They don't exist anymore.
I don't even have 4
4
controllers that are
working
good.
controllers. Good luck, I won't need it? Is that what he just said?
Yeah, good luck, you won't need it, I think. And at the time, I thought he was being a jerk. Because I was like, what? Why? He takes it back. But then I don't know, I was dumb. I didn't realize he's saying, like, you're so good, you don't need it. Yeah.
He really is saying you won't need it? He's not saying you'll need it or something?
It sounds like
he's-
he's saying you won't need it. Oh, cornered.
Has anybody managed to beat level 1 yet? I haven't seen it.
Don't think so. The
It's-
Mutoid Man.
It's difficult. It's a harder game than it looks, really. Level 1 is pretty beatable, but it starts to become very challenging, and it'll also start to destroy your D-pad thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Note to self, hanging out on the edges is not that good of an idea.
Oh, is this that one song that you always confuse on Rainwave?
Maybe.
What do you
Maybe
think
it's
this
the
is
other
from?
Kid Icarus, and it's actually
Nope.
Super Mario Land.
Yes.
I know. I know.
What are these red things that just storm around everywhere?
Fireballs?
Sentient fireballs.
I guess so.
Oh.
So what are the different power-ups? There's like these grenades that you kind of spew out. There's the thick bullets that pierce things. Don't really remember what else. Oh, there's a spread shot.
Oh. Bomb fragment got me.
Those bombs look pretty weird. A brand new VCR. Oh, there's the star shield. So I forget, is it actually like a super grim story where like all these guys are convicts or something and you're actually murdering them? Or is it actually lighthearted and they're robots or something?
I don't know.
Not sure.
What is the grim lore behind Smash TV? I must know.
Is it sort of like The Running Man? Is that really is that the concept?
It might be. Your dude looks pretty
Another-
happy when you die, though. Like it looks like he gets to take all those toasters home at the end. So I don't think he's dead.
So, huh. Well, I mean, it may be that you are just, a regular civilian who just wants to make some money on the game show, but the people involved are convicts
Are fighting for their life.
fighting for their lives.
You're just like, yeah, toasters.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, it's either your life or a toaster for me.
You can hold the button to shoot, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tap it to shoot faster, or is there no point?
Not really much of a point. You shoot pretty fast as it is.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm not sure if you can, but it's certainly not necessary.
those red options you can get that cycle around you, how do those disappear?
I guess
It seems to be happening pretty randomly.
Yeah, like they'll last longer and shorter. It seems.
It may be that there's like a counter for how many things each one of those little dots can hit before it goes away.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe that after colliding with X number of enemies, it just goes away.
It wouldn't be SGL without the Cheetah Men theme on Rainwave.
Oh yeah, you're right. Be back in a minute, guys.
Feasel needs to desperately play through Joe and Mac.
If he's gonna get ready for his little tutorial thing tonight, yeah.
Yep. That's going to be on this channel in about 30 minutes. Going to be doing a Joe and Mac tutorial for the Big 20 race with InfestedRiche. I've never learned how to say it.
I've heard it Richie most commonly,
Richie.
which doesn't look like it's spelled like that. But what do I know?
You could ask him what's the correct way.
Yeah, he's too nice to tell me that I'm pronouncing it wrong, I think. But that will be coming up next, and lots of other tutorials in the works. Looks like Zelda is going to be on the 14th, which is Tuesday.
What's that, Zelda 2?
Zelda 1. It's going to be up to the magical sword.
The magical sword, yeah. Oh, I got confused because President J. Polk did the tutorial for it, but I think of him as a Zelda 2 runner.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a couple spots where people have already done tutorials, especially Castlevania. I think there's been like 3 or 4 for Castlevania so far. But it can't hurt to have more perspectives on the game.
Mm-hmm. Anyone beaten this level yet?
Nope.
Nope.
This game is very hard.
It is.
Fun but challenging.
Whoa.
All right. Any successful completions to level 1 yet?
No, we were just talking about it.
Oh. It's kind of a hard game.
Yep. There's just no way around it. It's not really something that you can learn, like it's kind of like Tetris during the last race. It was either something you play a lot and get the hang of.
You either have the muscle memory for doing it, or just the knack for doing it, or you don't. But no, I actually disagree, because the enemies will spawn consistently here, and if you know when they're going to spawn and where's a good place to shoot them from, you can take out these mobs of enemies right as they spawn, so they don't start to overwhelm you. I'm pretty sure that some routing would really help.
there you go, guys.
Yeah, because I think these spawns are consistent, and with a lot of these guys, if you're in the right spot, you just like strafe back and forth, and you can take the whole group out.
Oh, so that's what that circle thing does. Okay.
So did we ever figure out if you have to go all the way right, or you have to go up?
You do have to go up or down.
Go up. Or down, that's right.
Oh.
I think there's like a special bonus room, but I forget what you get for going there, if it's just score or what.
Toasters.
Toasters. Just a mountain of toasters.
Yeah, that's the general inducement to get anyone to do anything, is give them toasters.
That will be the
Snowball.
currency after
Yeah.
the nuclear war. Bottle caps and toasters.
Well, I found the bonus room. God.
Yeah, just a ton of stuff. Toasters, a roadster, a brand new VCR. So it is just points.
Yep, and then a bunch of guys showed up. Oh, hi.
Yeah, there's where routing would have helped.
Yep.
I would probably need a lot of notes if I were to try to speedrun this game. Room 5, you know, wave 1 down, wave 2 up.
What's the pistol icon power up do? Does that just give you more ammo if you've got a special gun going on? I haven't seen any changes.
I don't know.
Alright, this game's kicking my butt. I have to head out. This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys for having me.
See ya. We'll see if someone can conquer the mutoid man.
Oh. So close, I'm on my last life.
This is a fun game co-op. It has it's a 2-player simultaneous co-op. It's a lot easier. I don't know if they give you more enemies. It kind of seems like about the same amount. So it's certainly a more reasonable fight. Zyre is about to fight the boss here, a Mutoid Man. Strangely appropriate music.
What even is this? It's
I don't
pretty
know.
rockin'.
It's pretty intense. Sounds about right for a giant Mutoid Man, half tank, half robot man whose arms go flying off.
Whoa.
I think in the SNES version, there's like a significant amount of blood as you blow pieces of him up.
That sounds right. Interestingly, the SNES version functions just like the 2-controller mode in this version, in that you can use the 4 face buttons to be the directions that you shoot in, combinations of those to shoot 8 directions.
Wow.
So I got myself caught in the corner, but he can't hit you in the corner.
He found a safe spot. Look at this speedrunner breaking the game.
Except for when he tries to shoot you.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then he...
Oh,
Oh, and that was it. Oh man, he got up to the boss though.
we at least saw what he looks like.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy, though.
Alright, guys,
So-
I'm gonna take off. But
All right.
thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
It was great to have you on.
I'll
Excellent job.
definitely try and get on another one.
Nice.
And have a good
Oh, I
night. Have fun
didn't
tonight.
plug everyone's
Yeah.
Twitch streams.
Tutorial.
What is your Twitch stream? Is it countdown 42?
69 actually.
69. Ahaha.
Close.
I should have known.
Alright. I'll see you guys later.
Okay, bye bye.
Take it easy.
I hope this is right. I'm just gonna. There it is.